Does the recent turmoil in Myanmar signal the dawn of a new Cold War? The nation, once a beacon of democratic hope in Southeast Asia, now stands as a battlefield for global superpowers, with the United States and China seemingly drawn into a proxy conflict within its borders. Since the military coup in early 2021, Myanmar has been caught in a deadly civil war. What began as peaceful protests against the junta swiftly evolved into armed resistance, with pro-democracy forces aligning with ethnic armed groups. Both the junta and the resistance remain steadfast in their resolve, leading to a strategic stalemate that has plunged the country into a state of chaos. Initially, the crisis received minimal attention from the international community, but as the conflict has escalated, so too has the involvement of the United States and China. These two global superpowers have found themselves on opposite sides of the conflict, with the United States supporting the pro-democracy faction and China increasingly backing the junta. This geopolitical dance has turned Myanmar into a battleground for influence, a scenario reminiscent of the original Cold War. ASEAN countries in particular find themselves in a delicate position as they strive to maintain positive relations with both the United States and China. While the United States has issued targeted sanctions, China has adopted a more nuanced approach, initially maintaining relations with both the junta and the National Unity Government. However, China has since thrown its support behind the junta, fearing that inaction could give the United States an advantage. The strategic interests of the United States and China in Myanmar have allowed the country to avoid being drawn directly into US-China competition thus far. However, as the conflict escalates, this may change. Meanwhile, the Biden administration has officially determined that the violence committed against the Rohingya minority by Myanmar's military constitutes genocide, a move that is expected to increase international pressure on the junta. In conclusion, the situation in Myanmar is not just a fight for democracy. It has evolved into a geopolitical chess game with global implications. The involvement of the United States and China has added another layer of complexity to the crisis. It's a situation that the world must keep a close eye on, as the outcome will not only determine the future of Myanmar, but could also reshape geopolitical alliances in the Southeast Asian region. The new Cold War in Myanmar is a stark reminder that the fight for democracy is never an isolated battle, but a global one that can draw in even the most powerful nations.